A one and a two and a scabba bow shop baby da bow da bow. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the DynamiteGizmo podcast, episode 103. Gotta blow my nose. I'm not gonna do it on camera though. And I'm blowing. I didn't blow. Just plucked. You know? Sometimes you just gotta pluck the boogers out of your face. What the fuck's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the podcast. The 103rd podcast. Third time's the charm. What about the 103rd time? So I've been watching, I watched the last episode, and guess what? The goddamn microphone's blocking my mouth again. I don't know, it's probably blocking my mouth right now. Like literally, when I'm recording this, to me it feels like the microphone is down. At least below my chin. But when I watch back the footage, it's always like right up here. Why is that? I think it might have something to do with the fact that the camera is a little bit lower than my eye level here. Sorry, I got a fucking stuff of a stuffed nose. I'm gonna try to minimize my sniffling. Try to minimize my sniffling. Here's today's card. It's tradition to show you the card, but not tradition to tell you what's on it. But you'll find out because I'm going to talk about what's on it. Bam! Now, it looks like we only have 3 topics, but bop shkanoop bop bop. There's a lot involved in these 3 topics. And guess what, folks? We're not talking about politics today. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! We're talking about... Oh, what is it asking me to update? It's asking me to update. Update! Let's do it later. Try me tonight. This thing has been asking me to update for months, and I just keep clicking remind me tomorrow. You ever do that? This guy does it too, but well, actually this guy doesn't really do it. The computer that you can't see over here, the one that's connected to this keyboard and this mouse, okay? It's old as the hills. It's not... Well, yeah, it's old now. I got it back in 2010, so 9 years old. That's an old computer, and it's still, it's still going strong, but there's some days where it's so unbearably slow that I feel like I just want to throw it out the window and smash it with a big hammer. Maybe if I ever get a new computer, that's what'll happen. So I'm thinking about just using this computer to edit. But I haven't quite decided yet. The only problem with this computer is that it doesn't have all the programs that computer has. And I'm sure there's a way to simply transfer them over, but I just haven't figured it out yet. Haven't figured it out. I figured it out. I done figured it out. Olive is sitting on a blanket on the floor. Y'all recognize my t-shirt? You remember Charles Trippy? He's still around, but you probably don't know who he is. You might. I've talked about him a few times. But nobody knows who I am. Ronald Reagan. Whatever happened to that guy, huh? Was he still kicking it? Don't know. That's not what we're talking about today. We're going to touch on, firstly, let me just get the rimble rabble up and rabbling. We're going to touch on a YouTuber. A classic, probably the classic of all classics when it comes to classic YouTubers. This guy is, or was, at one time, one of the ultimate YouTubers. He was one of the first people to ever, make a name for himself on YouTube. He was there. Oh, shite. He was there right from the beginning. Just gotta type in something here. He's had many different channels on YouTube. He's been known for a few different things. So let's just start by saying off who he is. Corey Williams. Okay. I'm a little bit too baked right now. I'm feeling a little bit off my game, but don't worry. Once I get warmed up, things will be smooth sailing. Are you ready? Okay. So Corey Williams, prime old school YouTuber, also went by the name as Mr. Safety. He's got his main YouTube channel, SMP Films. He's also got the Mean Kitty channel and Live Each Day. I think that's what it's called. Used to be Dude Like Hella, his daily vlog channel. Anyway. So this guy has, been through hell and back on YouTube. The guy proposed to his first wife on YouTube, and I remember seeing that back in the day, and then he divorced her, and then he started seeing this other girl, and then he asked her out on New Year's Day, right at midnight. He kissed her. They weren't dating. They were just really good friends, and she was a YouTuber named Caters17 or 17, however she went by. And that was like a great moment as well. He because everyone was like, "Oh, he's divorced. What's gonna happen to him?" And then Caters comes along, and then he starts dating her, and then he gets rid of her, and then he marries this other girl, and it was his whole life from those points was all on YouTube. And by the time he got to his third wife, that is when his channels started to go downhill fast. And, well, not really fast, actually. He stayed pretty steady for a little while, and then it was like down, and then steady, and down, and steady. But the guy, when he started off on YouTube, he was making music, and then he had these two cats that were extremely popular on the Mean Kitty channel. He was one of the first YouTubers to ever actually make money on YouTube. And then he started doing, he was doing pranks, and then he was his Mr. Safety stuff, which he wanted to be a stuntman at one point. Like, the guy has been down all kinds of paths. And then, like recently, within the last year or two, he created a kids channel with amazing kids content. He lived in California for a long time, and he even he was good friends with Charles Trippy. And they used to hang out all the time. The guy, I think he made Charles his best man at his wedding, if I can remember. Like, oh, he's been through so much. He's been through a lot on YouTube. The guy's pretty incredible. But just recently, he's been seeing such a decline in all of his channels to the point where it's not even financially viable for him to continue. Even if he wasn't doing it for the money, his views and subscribers are declining so rapidly that he, he feels it's not worth it anymore, and he's still he's still he's still staying so positive over this whole thing. Anyway, so he posted this video on August 7th. And I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll play a little bit of it. It's titled, "I'm saying goodbye to YouTube after 14 years, the world's first professional YouTuber." And he says that, I don't know if he is the first, but he was definitely one of the first. And he's one of the huge influencers. He was a huge influence on me, especially. And to see someone who was once so big turn into something so significant, it frightens me, and it saddens me at the same time. Anyway, here's Corey Williams, and let's just watch a little bit of this.
Good morning, friends.
Ah, shit! Of course I forgot to switch the audio.
It is a beautiful day here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Apparently it's going to be really hot, so I'm going to try to stay cool. Anyway, I wanted to make this video today because I have a kind of a big announcement to make. It's not an announcement that I've ever planned to make. I never thought I would ever make this, and it breaks my heart. And to be honest, I don't even know how to say this. I'm just going to say it straight out. I'm leaving YouTube. Not right away, not tomorrow, not next week, but I think maybe on my 14th anniversary, which is coming up in, well, technically September, because my first account was in September, but October. I always said I would just stick through this. I would be here no matter what. I would never give up on YouTube. But the reason for this decision is because I feel like YouTube has given up on me. Not the...
Very interesting, right? I can relate to him with what he just said there. In that, being the major personality that he was, and you get a real solid connection with YouTube, especially if you've been there from the beginning. It's you might not recognize this connection through YouTube, but you may recognize it through something else you do in your life. But for me and for people like Corey, the connection with YouTube it's real, and it's very hard to explain. And it's one of those things where if you're truly committed to YouTube, it's very hard to let it go, as anything, But it is something that, when you when you succeed at it, even if you don't succeed at it, you say to yourself, I'll always keep going on this platform no matter what. It's, and he's always been an example of someone who doesn't give up on YouTube. Because it was a long time going where he lost his success, and he just kept plunging through. But now it's gotten to a point where he's tried probably everything he could possibly do, and he really has, and it's still not working. Probably the last 8 to 10 years has been a major decline for him, but he stuck through for about 8 years. And now look at it, like it didn't work for him. And the question is, should he keep going and continue to try and reinvent himself in new ways? Or should he say goodbye to YouTube? It's very hard to say because I'm not in his position right now. Although, you know, I can definitely see where he's coming from. It would be hard to continue when it's gotten this bad. But if you continue the video, he puts the blame mostly on the algorithm, which is totally understandable and completely true. The algorithm can really fuck people. Whereas back in the day, you know, where his experience comes from, there was no algorithm. And if you had your down days, you can pick yourself back up through the proper techniques. But now with this algorithm, it's so unpredictable what's going to happen. Like, you can try and try as much as you want and do as much new shit and more technical shit, and you grab all your experience and throw it into the pile. It's, you know, certain cases where it's just not going to matter. Like, and Corey's the example of this. As good as his content is, it's just he cannot pick it back up. But then you got to look at it from another perspective and say, well, yes, it hasn't been working. You've done it once. Why can't it happen again? And no matter how much you fail, even if you fail for however many years straight, should you still continue? Can you find the loophole or the entryway through the algorithm to the success on the other side? Can it happen? Can he do more to make his channels better? Well, possibly. But, you know, it's a roll of the dice. And it doesn't seem like he's willing to go any further because he's, you know, at this point now where he feels like he's done all that he's possibly can. And it's just... And you know what? Maybe he's, you know, and also you got to take into consideration the fact that he has a family. And he mentions that in the video. You know, he's got a family, kids now. And he's, you know, I think he's in his 40s. I think he definitely is. And when you get to those, you know, when those two factors come together at play, you lose that drive and motivation to really push past the failures. I mean, at this point, he's more concerned about just providing a life for his wife and children. And, you know, if he just continues to focus on YouTube, it's going to lead him into a place where he's going to have no money and they're going to end up on the streets or something, you know? So you got to take that into consideration as well. It just sucks that people have to, you know, play with those ultimatums when dreams are fully in success, and then at one point in your life they just get taken away from you, and you're so far removed from getting that success back. It's almost as though you're, you know, back at straight out of high school starting all over again. And when you're that age, it's like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do that all over again. I already did that. So that's what worries me when shit like that happens. Great. This podcast is fucking turning into a depressing piece of shit podcast. Cool. No, it's not a big deal. We're just talking about shit, right? Who knows what this podcast is? We're still in the beginning. I'm 100 episodes in, 103. That's still nothing. It's a lot, but it's still nothing. The shit still transforms. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. He's done over 1,000. If you go back to his 103rd episode, it was, I'm not saying it was garbage, but it's definitely way, way less significant in quality and, production and everything is minuscule compared to what they are today. So, this is still the beginning. It's the Bugatti. The Booged. So that's what I have to say about Core, the Will. Corey Williams! You're dead to me! Get off the platform now! Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Corey. Yeah, so he had these two cats, Spartan and Loki. One of them had fucking leukemia, I think. I doubt they're still alive. There's no way. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Corey Williams. We're gonna move on to a quick little topic, and then lastly, we're gonna talk about the headlining story of today's episode, which has the most information. I've got like 20 tabs open. So, hallelujah. There is, you all know the deep fake technology. Damn it, I introduced this wrong. Anyway, well, the deep fake technology is spreading rapidly. We're seeing it all over. People are using the face swapping apps. More recently, we've been seeing the people turning themselves into the old folks, imagining what they would look like as an older person. And the technology is becoming very, very, very good, almost to the point where it's indiscernible between the actual person and the deep-faked person. And even Will Smith has a new movie coming out called Gemini Man, where he plays alongside a younger version of himself. Using similar technology to this deepfake shit. It looks like he's actually next to his young self. It looks like he's next to the Fresh Prince. And so some people have been posting some deepfakes on Twitter. And they are fucking phenomenal. Okay? I'm going to show you the one that's, pretty good, but not, you can still tell it's a deep fake. And then I'm going to show you one that's like, oh, whoa. Okay, so let's start with the first one. This is a video of, it's a clip of the Jerry Springer Show. And someone took one of the actors on there and swapped his face with Chris D'Elia's. And it's pretty funny. So, we'll check this out first.
Why were you on my phone? It's none of your business.
Because I can be.
Nosy as hell.
You slept with 2 bitches.
No. Okay, yeah.
See, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? But they turn the fucking contrast way the fuck up, or whatever. It's got that weird look to it, but it still looks pretty good, and it's funny. Now, this other one I saw, it's an interview on the Conan O'Brien show, an interview with Bill Hader. And Bill Hader is doing impressions of, why does it say Al Pacino? Oh no. Hold on a minute. Where's the Seth Rogen? Oh my god. Okay, this isn't even the right one. Ah! Damn it. Okay. How did I do that? How did I share the wrong fucking video? Where is it? Oh my god. Is this it? No, it's Al Pacino. Here we go. The Tom Cruise, Seth Rogen. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. Fuck me. So, it's David Letterman. The Al Pacino one looks good too. We'll probably check that one. But anyway, on David Letterman, Bill Hader's there, and Bill Hader is doing an impression of Tom Cruise and then Seth Rogen. The first time I saw this, I didn't realize it was a deepfake video, and I was like, Bill Hader he looks like Tom Cruise. And then by the time he got to the Seth Rogen impression, I was like, oh wait a minute. This is a deepfake video. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, when Bill Hader is, talking as himself, there's no deepfake technology. But as he goes into the Tom Cruise impression, his face subtly transforms into Tom Cruise's face. And it's so subtle of a transformation. If you're not paying attention, you're like, you realize something's different, but you don't see the actual change of the face. And so you just think, oh, he looks like Tom Cruise. And then he goes back to talking as himself, and it switches back to Bill Hader. And it's like, wait a minute. It's very, very trippy. So let's watch.
Movie, you do table reads, where like all the actors get together.
At the beginning of
at
the
the beginning,
production?
before anything, you get together and you read through the script. And so it's like, all these heavyweights, like, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., everybody. And at the end is like me, like, like, hey, just happy to be here, guys. And some other supporting guys. And then Tom Cruise walks in.
My God.
And even those guys are like, whoa, and he's super
that?
stoked to be there.
Look at how crazy that. Look at that.
Boom. He's like, wow. He's just immediately excited when he walks into a room. And so he comes over and he sits next to me, and I think he had been briefed on some of the supporting guys, but he was like trying to place me, So he sat down next to me and he's like,
Look at that.
I love your work.
Look at how crazy this is.
I love your work too.
Look at that.
Thanks. and I go, yeah,
insane.
I'm friends with Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen, and they went to your house. And went, yes. They did come to my house. And,
Transforms.
and I said, Seth Rogen was like, it was amazing. He has like a bike track in his backyard. It's phenomenal. and I did a Seth Rogen impression, and it was like I did a magic trick. Tom Cruise was like, yeah.
Fuck, man.
And he points to me.
This is creepy.
And he pointed at me and he goes, you do impressions and you're on Saturday Night Live. And I went, hey. It was like he won a game show. He was like, yeah, Tom.
And that kind of enthusiasm from that kind of a star, obviously a little intimidating, a little overwhelming.
It is a little overwhelming. Yeah, it was pretty
But
amazing.
you were able to work out and everything was fine?
Yeah, everything was great.
And when it was over, it was all good?
Yeah, it was great. At the premiere, he came up to me and he goes, can you believe we were in that movie? And I was like, I can't believe you were in that movie. Like, you're Tom Cruise. I was like, yeah, you.
Wow. It's fucking incredible, man. Goddamn incredible. I haven't actually seen this Al Pacino one. Let's see it.
You kind of popped right away because you did an Al Pacino impression.
Yeah,
and everybody
yeah.
in our office was talking about it, on Monday. They're like, that guy, that's
thanks,
really
man.
funny.
Thanks.
Did you study a lot of Pacino's films to get him down? How did you come to that impression?
No. I watched him on the his acceptance speech on the Emmys for Angels in America.
That's the only
And,
time.
that was like, I was
that's the
watching
only part
it,
you
and-
studied, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that, and he was kind of like just totally into like the peripheral and like weird things. So he was like, oh wow. We got some lights. Got a couple of cameras. That's nice. Yeah.
This one's a little less subtle.
All right.
So did you do him for the? Did you do Pachino for your Saturday Night Live audition?
Yeah. I did him for the audition, and I did Pachino. It was kind of weird interviewing his new maid staff. So it was like all new maids.
And he's like giving them instructions.
Yeah. It was like if I walk into this kitchen and I see a cantaloupe on that table, I will lose my mind.
Those are the instructions I give.
It's kind of like, it's a weird thing to think about. Like, oh, Pachino said it was maids.
Yeah.
That one wasn't as good, but still pretty decent. I think the other one looked better because it was an older video. You know, like the quality wasn't as crisp, so you can get away with more incorrections. What are you looking at, Olive? He's looking right at me, and he's shaking like a little olive. Shake. So how long have we been going for? Ooh, 32 minutes. Let's cut to our sponsors. Just kidding. I don't got any fucking sponsors. Are you fucking kidding me right now? It'd be nice though, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. Bop, bop, scooby-dee, bop, bow, shooby-dee, bop, bow. All right, the main story of the day, folks and croaks. This is a man, even if you're not a fan of him, you probably have heard of him before. He is less of a celebrity as he once was, but because of what he has done recently on the Instaslam, it has kind of caused him to gain some popularity again, okay? He was once skinny and fit and thin. Now he's fat and looks a lot like his father, who he used to make fun of. You probably have already figured out who I'm talking about. He was once a skater, signed to Element. He was on Jackass, Viva La Bam, Bam's Unholy Union, so obviously you know who I'm talking about. Bam Margera. So, you know, Ryan Dunn died back in 2010 or 2011, can't remember. Bam had a complete meltdown. He lost his best friend. He's kind of had a real privileged life his whole life. His parents really spoiled him and let him get away with everything, and he treated them like shit, although they, you know, that's kind of the ebb and flow of the way they get along with each other. Anyway, so he kind of had a downward spiral and picked himself back up and fell back down a bunch of times. One of his best friends, Brandon Novak, heroin user, major drug addict, alcoholic. He ended up becoming clean, and ever since that happened, he's been trying to convince Bam Margera to go clean, not through drugs, but through his alcohol, because Bam has a lot of alcohol issues. And I don't know, something happened, and Bam and Brandon Novak don't get along as well as they used to. Anyway, that's not the story that I want to get to, though. That's just a little background. So what we've been seeing over the past few days is Bam is starting to show signs of insanity. The guy is losing it. And it all started back on, well, it might have started before this, but this is where it really, you know, took off from the launch pad. July 29th. Bam Margera posted an Instagram video talking about Dr. Phil. So let's watch that.
I've been like binge watching Dr. Phil because I agree with everything he says. I almost say it before he says it, and then I agree with him so much that I have to keep watching the next episode. Then it goes on to fucking Steve Wilkos, and dude, he's just so pompous. Like, for instance, like, Dr. Phil would be like, so wait a minute. You got in an argument with your girlfriend on the highway, and you threw her down a snowy ravine naked, and you think that that's all right? Steve Wilkos would be like, you fucking threw your chick down a snowy ravine with a fucking butthole hanging out? A fucking butthole hanging out? Last time I checked, you don't do that to a woman. It's just like, dude, I want to punch you. Oh, you want to punch me? Like, he's like, you want to punch him? You know what? Get up here. Sit down. Stand up. Get off my stage. He like brings you up just to say get off my stage, just because he wants the power of being. I've been like binge watching.
Okay. That's just, you know, that's not a video of insanity right there, right? He's just, you know, just hanging out with his friends and his parents as usual, goofing around, being the center of attention. I don't see any insanity here. And there isn't. He's just talking about Dr. Phil. And he seems okay. He seems fine. But right here we see that this is where we establish that he has connected with Phil on some level. He agrees with everything he says, apparently, in this video. So then, on July 31st, he posts this little compilation video. He writes, "The first time done, let me go through death. Copenhagen, October 22nd, 2003. Never forgave him for it." I'm not sure what he's talking about. Anyway, so let's just watch this clip.
He entered into a BMW. I told him that. I told him, can you see psychiatrist? How the fuck? Oh, you went to school? You went to school? You should know that right from. No! You don't know what focus around is. You have never been it. You never experienced. No! A year after Donna's crash, there was such a bizarre vibe. My hand gestures were completely in sync with the light. Not just once, like the whole. I put my hands out again, and suddenly everything stopped. That night, done he entered into a BMW.
Okay. Now, not really clear what's being portrayed in this, but, you know, he's kind of saying that ever since, you know, once Dunn died, he was saying he, like, stuck his hands out and he could feel some shit, or I don't know. So we're beginning to dip our toe into the lake of pure insanity. The guy takes a real big turn. Okay? Now, he posted the picture I'm about to show is just kind of like is just sort of a glimpse into what he's doing. Okay, he posted other pictures that are a better representation about what I'm about to explain, but he since deleted those pictures, and I wish I would have saved them. I knew I should have saved them when I saw them. I was like, God, these might disappear. And of course they did. But this one here, it'll give you the idea. So he's on this plane in this photo. And I won't show you the photo yet, but the description says, Dr. Phil is the greatest. He secretly flew out Nikki and Phoenix Wolf. Phoenix Wolf is his child. Had my mom on standby. Got down to the root of the problem and isolated it down with no one interrupting each other. For Phil, which I think he's supposed to say Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, Bambus, not crazy. He is extremely frustrated with certain issues. Bam is not crazy. So I guess that's Dr. Phil's diagnosis of Bam. And the reason Bam is saying this is because, the pictures he deleted, he posted were pictures of this cryptic alphabet that Bam created. It's each letter of the English alphabet, and then underneath he shows a translated version in his own made-up language. Okay? We'll get into more of this in a second, but if we just zoom in on this picture here, you can see him. He's on the plane making a bunch of fucking scribbles, and I don't know. He's got this whole language. You see, A is the heartogram, and B is whatever, and it goes on. And look at Q; it's the middle finger. And then W is like the element symbol. And as we move on, you'll see he's taking himself seriously, or at least he's really good at acting like he's taking himself seriously, which might be the case. But it's very hard to determine. I don't want to start, spreading rumors about the guy, but I mean, like, what could be going on here? So, we move on. Here's a picture of him, and I don't know who this is. Maybe it's this Michelle girl. But he writes, "Off to Dallas to get my brain evaluated. Thanks, Dr. Phil and Michelle." And then he has his phone number here. "My phone will be off for a while. Later." And look, Brandon Novak puts hearts and prayer signs. And you can see on Bam's glasses, he's got his language plastered on his glasses. He drew on it with marker. Moving on, here he is with the same glasses, and he's getting a haircut. He writes, "By the way, I was evaluated and tested for alcohol and drugs. The results were negative. Not drunk or drinking, and not on drugs either." Now, he's saying this because, with those pictures he deleted, everyone was giving him lots of hate, saying Bam's gone crazy. The guy is all over the place. He doesn't know what's going on. And Bam took, obviously, offense to this because he's believing, apparently, what he's putting out there. What was I going to say? So, yeah. And he's been known for being drunk constantly, and I guess he stopped because he's in rehab. And ever since then, he's been having these crazy visions or whatever, and creating a language. And I wish he kept those pictures up that he deleted, because not only did he show the language, but he had a reason why he was doing this. And obviously I don't remember it, but should have kept those pictures. Okay. Then he posts this. It's a poster, like a fan poster that he would sign and hand out. And the details on this picture are just kind of a glimpse of what he posted on the pictures that he deleted. So, he's got a poster he written all over it, and it said, well, first let's read the description. He puts, "Find them, just like how you helped me find Dr. Phil in one day's work." So I guess this girl found Dr. Phil for him and, got them in contact. So he wants this person to find these people that he mentions. He writes, "I need to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Brian Cox, or Giorgio Sakalaka," whatever the fuck that guy's name is. You know who I'm talking about. They're all in the physics and astrophysics type bullshit. Not bullshit, but they're all in similar fields. Light has to bend around black holes because time will stop. Then it will explode in. So now he's starting to talk about black holes. Okay? Goes on to say facts. 1. Dr. Phil says I'm not crazy. 2. I'm not drunk or on drugs. 3. I got straight A's in science and geology. 4. I can take you through a black hole with the ABCs into, and then he writes his language here. So if you don't understand what's going on, basically he's saying, he's trying to convince everyone that he understands black holes and he can take you to a black hole through this language that has come to him. Okay? Are you following? It gets a little crazier as we go on. Next picture. He's texting Michelle. I guess this is the girl who found Dr. Phil for him. Or is Michelle Dr. Phil's wife? I don't know. But he writes in the description, Idiot's Guide Through a Black Hole for morons who... I don't even know what that says. Read kind of not goody. Anyway, the text reads, if you can get me in person with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Cox, or George Sakolas, I can show them the Idiot's Guide to Black Holes, because a lot of people can't wrap their heads on the way they can describe it. It's too advanced. My way describes it for the average idiot. Way easier this way. And again, writes his phone number. Throw me a bone. So he's trying to say that he wants to get in touch with these scientists so that he can describe to them his idiot's guide for describing black holes, so he can publish some book, I guess. I don't know why he thinks he's got black holes figured out. Figured out. I mean, even the people studying black holes don't even have them fully figured out yet. But he's convinced that this language is the key to accessing a black hole or something along those lines. Okay, then he posts like a shit ton of these pictures. All great innovations are built on rejections. Like, there's just a bunch of these style of pictures with these characters, and they're all like different motivational sentences. Okay, so not really part of the story, but I don't know, it might be. And then he's got 3 videos of himself sitting in a car, someone in the back seat filming him, and he's explaining. This is where he explains his made-up language. But it makes absolutely no fucking sense what he's saying. Like, I tried to decipher it, or try to make some sort of sense of it, but I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So let's just watch.
Get it! That's why. Because you don't get it. So what's before that? A heartogram. Why? Because I love it. Why do I love it? Because it's fucking awesome. Why is it awesome? Because it's him, the best band ever. It's Villa Vallo. It's me. Because I had to tell everybody how much I love this shit, and it's the coolest symbol I've ever seen. Because who the fuck would want to look at a cross? That's where he died at. That's the last thing he feels like looking at. Why do you see these spooky movies? I was terrified when I was a kid. You see the fucking Exorcist, there'd be crosses everywhere. Ugh. Like, why is there all these demons and shit? Shouldn't you put it upside down and play Cradle of Filth? That'll stop that. But no, they keep putting more. Get it! That's why.
And when I watch this is like a typical example of someone who's just trying to bullshit their way to truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, he's not Like, we just gotta assume he's addressing the fact that people... We don't even have to assume. He's obviously addressing the fact that people are questioning how he came up with this language, and he's explaining it. But he's making no sense. He's just stumbling on whatever thought comes to his mind. He's not actually explaining why he used the heartogram to represent the letter A. His first statement is, because I love it. And then he says it represents him, the band Him. Villavala, who is the lead singer of Him. And then, he says himself. And yeah, it does, but why is that, representative of the letter A? He's just spitting nonsense out in a creative way, we'll say, to make it sound as though he knows what he's talking about. But he really doesn't. He has no idea. He's making it up on the spot. And then in the description it says, whoever is deleting my facts, I'm going to delete you from interweb privileges. Keep this shit the fuck up. Okay. Oh, so maybe he didn't delete those pictures. Someone else did they flag it or something? How would someone else delete it? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. And again with this, he writes in the description, whoever is deleting my facts, I'm going to delete your ass so you can't get evil Jarrett Hasselhoff's Bone Thug no more. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
D is the half of fucking Lasky and Strigoi and English. Burns insane. No, it's the opposite, you fuckwit. So D in Strigoi is the opposite of the alphabet. It's half. And C is a circle.
What do you mean?
So C is everything of the alphabet between Lasky and Strigoi and English. C is everything.
What's Lasky and Strigoi?
So what's behind that? B. So B is the B before cause. So cause is a D. And then E, and then F. Why? Because I made it that way. D is the half.
You can't just say because I made it that way. If you're going to make up a language, at least put some effort into the explanation as to why you choose the letters to represent other letters. Don't just say, because I made it that way, right? Someone writes, they're deleting this hogwash because it makes you look bad. Lots of kids still look up to you, man. Pull your head out of your ass. Your entire family and friends group are on damage control. Okay, so here's the last video. Same, well, I don't remember. What is this one? He's getting onto a plane.
Special treatment at the airport. We get to leave this away. I remember that with Paramount. So basically, if you think I'm crazy about creating my own language, Dr. Phil completely gets it. I'm showing you what it's like to go through an English language black hole transformed into Laskian. You'll see. Suck on my tuna can.
You'll see. So he says... Wait, what did he say? I wish I could rewind this shit.
Special treatment at the airport. We get to leave this away. I remember that with Paramount.
So he's got a special exit on the plane.
So basically, if you think I'm crazy about creating my own language, Dr. Phil completely gets it. I'm showing you what it's like to go through an English language black hole transformed into Laskian.
An English language black hole translated into Laskian.
You'll see.
You'll see. We'll see what? Dr. Phil is an encyclopedia of knowledge, and words can't describe how much I love this man. He's the milkman of human kindness. His wife is great as well. He is the lotto of being a savior to people who have had enough of the gruff. Suck on my tuna can. Yay. There was a point in my life when I was a major fan of Bam Margera. I was obsessed with Viva La Bam, Bam's Unholy Union, Jackass, CKY, Haggard. Everything that Bam was involved with, I was watching. He's even the one who got me into skateboarding. I still have the skateboard I used to ride that has Bam Margera wheels. Oh god. And element bearings, and then it had purple Destructo trucks with a heartagram on it because they were Bam's. And I also carved the element symbol and the heartagram into my grip tape. I was a huge fan of Bam Margera. I'm not saying I'm not anymore. Like, I'm not a huge fan, but like, I don't mind the guy. But why is it that these large celebrities take a dive sometimes? Take a dive into the insanity world. Like, I'm definitely gonna stay updated on this story. I want to see what's next in the Bam Margera world. Is he gonna reveal this black hole English language bloppity boopity whatever he said? I'm curious. I think he's just full of shit. But I'm curious what comes next. And as for him saying Dr. Phil doesn't think I'm crazy and understands the language, I mean, I don't know. I can't see that. I guess I can understand why Dr. Phil would say he's not crazy. But I can't see Dr. Phil justifying this language that he created. Unless Bam Margera is delusional. And Dr. Phil does think he's crazy. Who knows? Actually, I did find, what is this? The nzherald.co.nz. I don't know, some New Zealand news article, news source, I guess. They snagged a picture that Bam posted and got deleted, and it's this one. It says, if I have a problem, only, and then he scratched it out, can help me, equals, and so this is an example of, I guess, this language, or the English language translated into this language, or whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know, bro. We'll find out someday. Maybe. Who knows what's going to happen to Bam Margera. Margera. Markinsall. Makity moop soup scape skeep skapu. Scoop ape ape skapu. So why don't we go ahead and do a little bit of Reddit, y'all? You want to Reddit? I said fed it. Why is it that whenever I open up Reddit on a fresh day, the "What is this thing" subreddit is the first one on the list? Why is that? I don't mind it. I do like the "What is this thing" subreddit, but why is it always first? I don't know. Hey, look, Joe Rogan's number 2 on the growing communities. Hold My Feeding Tube is number 1. Huh. Anyway, what is this thing? It's metal, and it feels like it's hollow. Has 3 little bumps on each side. Doesn't appear to be able to open in any way, although it might just be seized. Found in an old garage. Anyone have any idea what it is? Apparently it's solved. What is it? I know I'm late to the game, but I think it's a piece from an old school cream separator machine. I have one at home. I'll post pics when I get back home this evening. I'll see if I can find a pic online in the meantime. Edit. Holy shit, I never dreamed that spending hours of my childhood cleaning that stupid separator would come in handy one day. So that's what it is, I guess. There's no opinion. There's no option for never/none in the alcohol use category in the Dr. Fa. Funny. 1971. A police officer looks after an abandoned baby. Oh, how sweet. She put him in the drawer. I wonder if she closes the drawer. Instructor forgets to attach safety harness while hand gliding in Switzerland. Guy hangs for 2 minutes and 14 seconds for his life. Do you want to see some drama? Let's watch. Imagine how scary that would be.
Are you ready for?
Not attached. Attached.
Yes. 3, 2, 1, go. Run, 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 run.
3, 2, 1, go. Houston, we have a problem. Holding on by my hands. Pilot is trying to maneuver a quick landing, but is having trouble. Maybe aim for a tree. Thinking, nice view, I'm gonna die. Okay, maybe not the nice view part. Getting higher. Jesus Christ. I think my left hand is making an imprint on the metal bar. Holy fuck. This is crazy. Jesus Christ. I love the landing gear better than losing my grip though. Can't hold on much longer. Oh, almost there. Oh my God. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Okay, let's go. Bam. Jesus. Upon impact, my right wrist suffered a fragmented distal radius fracture, which required surgery. Ugh. Titanium plate and 7 screws were installed, and I was released the following afternoon. Jeez Louise. I also tore my left bicep tendon from holding on as long as I did. It beats the alternative. It's the first day of our vacation in Switzerland. Base jumping tomorrow. While the pilot made a critical error in our pre-flight setup by not attaching me to the glider, he did all he could to get me down to the ground as quickly as possible, grabbing onto my harness and flying with one hand. I will go hang gliding again, as I did not get to enjoy my first flight. Oh, I'd be so pissed at that guy, though, right? Wouldn't you? He's like, okay, are you ready? Here we go. Damn. That is cray-cray, my friend. What does it say? For fuck's sakes, I dropped my meat. Is that what that is? Meat? Looks like it. Bunch of skewers in the sand. Ugh, that would suck. Graffiti artist turned a block wall into a bus. Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. That's very good, actually. You're very good, my friend. You're very good, my friend. Someone is happy and someone is not. One of these things is not like the other. Ah! What do we got here? Doll versus Galfbal. Bunk. Oh, jeez. That is power. Imagine if that was your head. You were once a baby. Tesla Model 3 crashes into parked truck. Shortly after, car explodes twice. Tesla's gonna take this down. They're not gonna want people to see this. Dead. Oh! That's those batteries, my friend. Oh! That's those batteries. If you get in a car accident in a Tesla, you better get the fuck out. 'Cause you will explode. Yeah, baby. Oh, that was today. That happened today. Chedvaka said was driving at around 100 kilometers, 62 miles per hour. The speed limit when the car crashed on its left side into the stationary tow truck that he had not noticed. Footage of the incident. So, it was his fault, not the car's fault. See? It's the humans! This ain't it, Chief. We got a garbage truck and a garbage bin. Good job. Holy fuck. Is it that hard? What the fuck's wrong with this guy? Open the thing up. What are you doing? What are you doing? There you go. Oh, yeah. And he just drives away. What a maroon. See, this is the shitty robots subreddit, but it It's the human fault. He didn't know how to control that thing. Yeah, shitty operator. I'm a potato chip professional. Ask me anything. Are you a professional at eating potato chips? Or do you, like, make them or something? What makes you a professional? A young cheetah learning to kill. Would you like to see a maybe? Maybe. Whoops. Do that every time. Maybe, the maybe shop. She hugs him, and then the baby skydives off the bunk and lands on the mattress. And does a front flip, and they didn't even notice. Cool. Moon perfectly centered in this Nubian ibex curved horn. Ooh la la! A shingle beach. What? How's this a confusing perspective? Why is this a confusing perspective? Why are people getting confused? I hate that. When I don't see what the other people see. Just another day in Colorado, I suppose. Whoa. That's Colorado? Oh, he went in the building. There's a horse. Get him! Oh, they got him. Why was that going on, I wonder? Not sure it's really going to do anything, but can we get a little more context? Okay, here we go. City of Colorado Springs has an annual event that walks longhorn steers down the street in the middle of downtown. This year, one steer broke loose, as seen in this video, and the horse riders caught him as he ran into a building. No one was hurt, but I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled future events because of this. Loon Keto, the oldest living male in Amboseli, Kenya, has fought tooth and nail for a decade to keep his territory intact. Damn, he's got a lot of face scars. Weddings are boring. I don't want to watch a wedding video. What is this? What the fuck is this? Okay, I've had enough of this. Change.org petition for Joe to host the presidential debates. Ooh. Could you imagine? Joe Rogan moderating the 2020 presidential debates? Fuck me. People would hate it, people would like it. Yeah, don't put your dick in that. Reviving an exhausted bumblebee with sugar water. Is this just a picture? No, it's not. How do you know it's exhausted? Not bad for a day in the life of a dog food company. Stanford branch corporate, literally everyone create the entire show. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Weapons of mass adorableness. Nope, don't want to watch it. What 4 years of college amounts to. Yeah. Is she gonna drown? Is she naked? Okay, she spilt most of that beer on the floor, on the ground, so. When you're streaming and try to type something in your browser. Ooh la la, let's see. Makes me curious. Da, 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 da. Oh. Yeah. You've been caught, my friend. You've been caught. Let's see what he had. Oh, it's not even in English. Nope. It's not English. But it is Pornhub, so that's awesome. Is he gonna get it? He got it! How does he know how to do that? Santa Fe High School. School resumes August 20th. Resistance is futile. You will be educated. Hollywood and Russia. That kind of looks like Bert Kreischer. Doesn't that look like a Russian version of Bert Kreischer? Training barbers with balloons. Shave the balloon, but don't pop it. I'm a 15-year-old male drug addict. Good for you. Car burglar sneaking around finds homeowner's friend. Ooh, this will be good. Is this good? Let's see. He's a sneaking. He's being sneaky. Oh, it's a dog. Did it? And it ended right there? It ends and instantly starts with him climbing back in. Sat here for 2 to 3 minutes, wondering how many times this idiot was going to jump back into the garage. Ha ha! Yeah, it's hard to determine when it starts and ends. She hates hardwood floors, and did this once. We finally found a good rug. Oh, that's a big dog. It's got a lot of limbs. Or long limbs, I mean. Olive does stuff like that sometimes. Let's do one more video. Catching your annoying sibling before they can run off. And let's do the ambulance. Crashes into another ambulance. What's with the beam of light? Oh, God. What if they were going to the exact same spot? I wonder if that's ever happened before. And if so, how often does it happen? I couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't fucking tell you. But what I can tell you is this. That is it for this episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast. Episode 103. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you're a true fruitcake. And I hope to see you in the next one. Maja Faja. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
These schools, we have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids.
Oh, I forgot. It's still recording.